Am I wrong here? You are religious in some way.
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to bring this up in this day and age when people go, no, I'm not religious, I'm only spiritual.
In a world filled with uncertainty, challenges, and the pursuit of success, many of us seek something greater, a sense of purpose, a connection to something beyond ourselves. For some, it's the recognition of a higher power guiding our steps, offering strength and wisdom when the path gets tough. Today, we explore the journey of Matthew MacConaughey, a man who, despite the glitz and glamour of Hollywood, stays rooted in his faith and his connection to God. His story is a reminder of the grace and gratitude that can shape a life.
There's philosophies, there's proverbs, and there's teachings that I think are very valid and very helpful that we could all be reminded of that are in the Bible that I do find quite useful.
The entire Bible is functional. In it, we find the truth and the words of our living God. But this is something that McConaughey knows well, as you will see later in the video. Before we dive into what Matthew MacConaughey has to tell us about God, I ask that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video and check out our playlist with several celebrities talking about our living God. Without further delay, let's dive in.
First off, I want to thank God because that's who I look up to. He's graced my life with opportunities that I know are not of my hand or any other human hand. He has shown me that it's a scientific fact that gratitude reciprocates. In the words of the late Charlie Lawton, who said, when you got God, you got a friend, and that friend is you.
Have you encountered difficulty expressing this in Hollywood? You know, Hollywood is predominantly left-wing and very secular.
I don't know. I haven't had difficulties. I have had, and I won't throw any people under the bus, but I have had moments where I was on stage receiving an award in front of my peers in Hollywood. And there were people in the crowd that I have prayed with before dinners many times. And when I thank God, I saw some of those people go to clap, but then notice that, whoa, bad thing on my resume, and then sit back on their hands.
The way God designed our bodies is a model for understanding our lives together in society as well as in the church. Every part dependent on every other part. The parts we mention and the parts we do not mention. The parts we see and the parts we don't see. If one part hurts, every other part is involved in the hurt and in the healing. If one part flourishes, every other part enters into that exuberance. We are Christ's body. That's who we are. We must never forget this. Only as we accept our part of that body does our part mean anything.
Am I wrong here? You are religious in some way.
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to bring this up in this day and age when people go, no, I'm not religious, I'm only spiritual. You know what the Latin root of religion is? Re-legare. And legare means to bind together. Re means again. Well, in a world that's saying I'm only spiritual because I want unity, that's exactly what religion means. We've bastardized the meaning of it over time, and we've excluded people, and we've corporatized it and such. But yes, I am religious. That character, you know, I had written stories. I'd written a college paper called John Wayne Goes West, and it was about how can you be a believer in a world of science? And I remember writing things like during the making of that movie, like science is the practical pursuit of God. The two are not exclusive. They dance together. They go together. Belief in science, and I never saw those as contradictions. And that's part of the reason I attacked that role and became a part of that movie. I wanted to play a person that had that point of view of a believer in a world of science, not at the exclusion of science and not at the exclusion of belief. I'm like, well, it's still the best one going. There's a lot of great truths that come out of the Bible. And it is open for, and a lot of people, it has been interpreted and reinterpreted. It has been translated. It has been handed down. I, for myself, I don't know what to do in my daily life with the burning bush. I don't know what to do with that. I do know what to do with love your neighbor like yourself. I do know what to do with Matthew 6:22. If thy eye be single, thy whole body will be full of light. I do know what to do with some Proverbs that I can take into daily practice and go, oh, I felt my life. I felt improvement. I felt success in my relationships, in my relationship with the day, with my career, by following that, by treating others how I wanted to be treated, the golden rule. So I take the practical stuff myself and try to utilize it and pick out what can work for me.
Matthew MacConaughey's words offer a profound glimpse into a life rooted in faith, gratitude, and the pursuit of unity. He speaks of a God who guides and blesses, and he acknowledges that the opportunities he's been given are beyond the work of human hands. This mirrors the wisdom found in the Bible, where we're reminded in 1 Thessalonians 5:18 to give thanks in all circumstances, for this is the will of God. Gratitude, as McConaughey emphasizes, isn't just a feeling. It's a way of living that reciprocates blessings in our lives. When McConaughey reflects on the meaning of religion, he touches on its Latin root, which means to bind together. He challenges the modern tendency to separate spirituality from religion, instead calling for unity. This echoes the message in Ephesians 4:3-6, where we are urged to maintain unity in the Spirit, being one body with one Lord, one faith, and one God over all. McConaughey's insight into this unity emphasizes the bond that holds us together in faith. He goes further to describe the design of our bodies as a model for understanding our lives together. In his words, each part of the body, seen and unseen, has significance, and when one part hurts or flourishes, the whole body shares in it. This imagery aligns with 1 Corinthians 12:12, which teaches that just as the body has many members, so it is with the body of Christ. McConaughey's reminder is simple but powerful. We are all interconnected, and our role within this greater body holds meaning when we embrace it fully. He also shares his belief that science and faith aren't contradictions, but instead dance together in harmony. Proverbs 25:2 tells us that it is the glory of God to conceal things and the glory of kings to search them out. McConaughey sees the pursuit of knowledge, including science, as an exploration of God's creation, a quest to understand the divine through what we observe and learn. Ultimately, McConaughey grounds his faith in practical teachings like loving your neighbor as yourself and keeping your focus clear to be filled with light, referencing Matthew 6:22. He doesn't claim to have all the answers, but he finds wisdom in these simple yet profound principles that shape his daily life and relationships. Just as Matthew 22:37-39 calls us to love God and our neighbors, McConaughey strives to live by these words in the most genuine way possible. Through his reflections, Matthew McConaughey reminds us that faith is not about perfection, but about sincerity, gratitude, and unity. His journey is a powerful reminder that even amidst the spotlight of Hollywood, a life grounded in faith can be a light to others. If this message inspired you, don't keep it to yourself. Take a moment to reflect. Share this video with someone who needs encouragement, and let's spread hope and unity together. Remember, faith isn't about having all the answers. It's about staying grateful, staying true, and finding light in every step. So, hit that like button, leave a comment with your thoughts, and don't forget to subscribe for more content that uplifts and inspires. Let's keep this journey of faith going strong, one step at a time.